1. The Man by the Roadside. I was 19 when I bought my first car, a battered old Vauxhall Astra that barely made it past 60 on the motorway. Still, it gave me freedom, and I spent countless evenings driving aimlessly through the countryside, music blaring, windows down. One Friday night in late autumn, I was driving home from a friend's house around midnight. The road I took was a long, winding B-road cutting through farmland and woods. Hardly any traffic used it at night, and my headlights often felt like the only light in the world. About halfway down, I saw him. A man stood on the roadside, just beyond the white line, dressed in a gray suit. He didn't raise a hand or try to hitchhike. He just stood there, head bowed, hands by his sides. I slowed slightly, unsure if he needed help. As my car rolled past, I glanced at him more clearly. His face was wrong. Not deformed, but blank. Smooth, like wet clay before features are carved. My stomach dropped, and instinctively I pressed the accelerator, speeding away. My rearview mirror showed only empty road. He was gone. I barely slept that night, and the next morning I drove the same route in daylight to prove it was just my tired brain playing tricks. But when I reached the spot, tire marks told another story. Several cars had braked hard there recently. I don't drive that road after dark anymore. 2. The car that followed. This happened 3 years ago. I was driving back from a late shift at work, cutting across the moors to reach home quicker. The road stretched on for miles, no streetlights, no houses, just the occasional sheep wandering near the verges. About 15 minutes into the drive, I noticed headlights appear in my rearview mirror. At first, I thought nothing of it, someone else making the same lonely journey. But after a while, I realized the car wasn't overtaking. It just kept its distance, matching my speed exactly. I slowed to 40. So did they. I sped up to 60. Their lights stayed glued to my bumper. The longer it went on, the more my nerves frayed. I flicked my indicators randomly, hoping they'd pass, but they never did. Instead, they blinked their high beams twice, then once more, like a signal. Finally, I spotted a petrol station ahead, glowing like a lifeline. I pulled in sharply, tires screeching. The other car slowed, lingered at the entrance, then turned and disappeared back the way we'd come. Inside the shop, the cashier asked if I was all right. I admitted I'd been followed. His face went pale. "You're not the first," he said quietly. Apparently, several drivers on that road had reported the same thing. A car that appeared from nowhere and shadowed them relentlessly before vanishing without trace. Police never found the vehicle. To this day, I take the longer route home. 3. The child on the motorway. This one still haunts me the most. I was driving home on the M1 after visiting family in Leeds. It was past 2 in the morning, the motorway nearly empty. Just me, the hum of the engine, and long ribbons of tarmac stretching endlessly ahead. About an hour into the drive, my headlights picked up something small on the hard shoulder. At first I thought it was an animal, but as I drew closer, I realized it was a child. A little girl, no older than 6, standing barefoot by the crash barrier in a white nightdress. My heart thumped violently. I pulled over, hazard lights flashing, and scrambled out of the car. "Are you all right?" I called. But she didn't answer. She just turned her head slowly towards me. Her face was pale, eyes hollow, lips moving soundlessly. A lorry thundered past, its draft nearly knocking me off balance. I turned for a split second, shielding my eyes, and when I looked back, she was gone. I searched frantically up and down the shoulder, but there was no trace. No footprints, no movement, nothing but silence. Eventually, I drove on, shaken to the core. Later, I told a colleague what I'd seen. His expression darkened immediately. He'd heard the same story from 2 different drivers. Always the same, a young girl in white on the hard shoulder, vanishing when approached. I try not to think about it, but sometimes on late drives, I catch myself scanning the roadside, terrified of seeing her again. Conclusion. Night drives can feel peaceful, the empty roads, the quiet hum of the car, the world asleep around you. But they can also be deeply unsettling. When the only light is your headlights and the only company is your reflection in the mirror, the mind plays tricks. And sometimes, those tricks seem all too REA.